Hey Chicks on Fire, Gentana here with more mental vitamins. Today's subject is on how to do a release and love treatment. The purpose of doing a release and love treatment is because many times we're caught up in situations where maybe we have some anxiety about the outcome of how we're going to make some money, or an audition, a job, or maybe we might be involved in a tough phone conversation where somebody's trying to collect some money, or a job situation where maybe our superior, our supervisor, boss, or whatever is really bothering us. So being able to learn how to control this by releasing the emotions and sending love, you're really going to find that this is a very, very, very powerful method. Now, why you need to do this, I'll give you 3 reasons. Number 1 is when we hang on to emotions, it's toxic and acidic for both our minds and our bodies. So we really want to be able to let that go. Number two, ignoring or fighting the emotion only makes it grow bigger and makes it much worse. Remember, what we focus on expands, and when we're focusing on trying to fight or ignore this emotion, we're actually focusing in on the negativity, so it just gets worse and worse and creates a bigger block. Number 3, our minds and our bodies are like a giant radio antenna. We either make a situation better or worse because we're able to either send or receive signals. Just once again, when we're able to release that negative energy, that negative thought, emotion, and just send the situation love, then we're able to much better control the situation and also think more clearly. A number of years ago, I don't know if anyone has ever attended those T. Harv Eker Millionaire Mind seminars, but if you have, then you know what I'm talking about. What they do, or actually what they did in the past, is they would invite you to go to a free seminar for the weekend and have you be in a room full of people for hours and hours. And their salespeople are good. I mean, by the final day of the weekend seminar, you're thinking that you cannot live without their service. And so they try to sell you on these programs, and these programs are $3,000. Feeling like I couldn't live without the program, and in order to change my life, I had to pay this $3,000. I actually wrote a check for a $700 deposit, but they know, T. Harv Eker knows that about the buyer's remorse, and usually within 48 hours then we all come back to our senses. The hypnotic suggestion is now gone, so people will most likely try to get their money refunded. So there is an absolute strict no refund policy. So I called up one of the reps and I asked him to please refund me the money, and he says absolutely not. There's no refunds, very strict policy. So what I did was I did the release and love method, and while I'm listening to him talk, I'm releasing the emotion, I'm sending love, and I'm saying, and that heart that you heard is the example of sending love. So what I did was I'm releasing the emotion, I'm sending love, and in the meantime I'm saying I now expect this situation to be resolved. I now expect this situation to be resolved. And I was visualizing this message going into this person. So anyways, we ended the phone conversation, and again he says, I'm sorry, I can't do anything. And I said, okay, fine. And I hung up the phone, and I still expected the situation to be resolved. Sure enough, the very next day, he called me up and he left me a message. He says, look, normally we don't do this, but we're going to offer you a refund. Swear to God as my witness, this happened. So this is how powerful this technique is, and this is why it's really important that you do practice this. I know some of you are going after changing some habits. I know some of you are going after fixing your work situation. Some of you are, it's about being more comfortable in front of the camera. It's also about finding a way to do what you love or get much more organized in your life. So in every single situation that you're involved in, I guarantee you, you can apply this. Okay, so this is how it works. First of all, take a moment to think of the situation that you're going through, or at least pretend like that there's a situation that you're going through. Now, put your hand on either your chest or your stomach area, and notice where you really feel this feeling. And if you feel the feeling in both areas, then just go ahead and leave your hand on both your chest and your lower abdomen area. So, and if you only feel it mainly in your chest area or your lower abdomen, then just keep your hand on that area. Now bring up the emotion and allow yourself to feel it. I mean, just really, really, really feel it. And if you have trouble figuring out what the emotion is, what I'll also do is I'll send you all a feeling and needs sheet, so you can take a look at the cheat sheet and figure out what feeling it is that you're feeling. So pinpoint the feeling, bring it up, and then just breathe into that feeling. You could either close your eyes or you can keep your eyes open and breathe into that feeling. Now think of something that you have unconditional love for, whether it be a pet, whether it be a hot fudge brownie sundae or a piece of chocolate, or someone in your life who you love, but just really think of something or somebody or an environment that you love unconditionally. So once again, you're going to breathe into that negative feeling and you're going to hold your breath for a second. You're going to think of the unconditional love, and then you're going to breathe out. But when you breathe out, you're going to breathe out the feeling of unconditional love. So what you're doing, you're also surrounding the negative feeling with the unconditional love, and you're breathing it out. And then you just keep continuing doing this and doing it until you start to feel a release. And the more that you do this, the more that you should be able to feel the release. Now you can do this while you're on the phone with somebody, while somebody is directly in front of your face, maybe yelling at you. You could do this while you're driving. You can do this as a peaceful meditation. It all works. You could do it really quick, or you can spend about 20 minutes going through a whole list of things that you're having issues with. And then afterwards, you send in an affirmation. You say something, whatever is going on in the situation, such as, I expect this issue to be resolved immediately for my highest good. I expect this issue to be resolved immediately for my highest good. And if for any reason that you still don't believe it, then you say, even though I don't believe it right now, I still expect this situation to be resolved for my highest good. Even though I don't believe it right now, I still expect this situation to be resolved for my highest good. So once again, you can use this in any situation you choose. And I'm really challenging you to practice this, give it a try, get the hang of it. The more that you get the hang of this, it's going to get easier and easier. And also, if you're having some financial blocks, one of the reasons for financial blocks is because we have anxiety towards or fear about whether or not we're going to receive money, or whether or not something is going to come through for us. So especially when you're working towards bigger financial gain, really work on this practice and read the book, the ebook that I sent you, I Am a Woman of Worth, because I touch specifically on that topic. Okay, and if you have any questions, please send me an email, and I will be very, very happy to walk you through this personally so that you can really get the hang of this. Okay,